Hello and welcome to a return of Bodied, a Cloud9 fan cast after a lovely holiday break. I am your host Havokpus, and I am joined by my co-host Frozencreek. How's it going?
Hello, hello. New year, new us. I am officially 30 years old, so I wake up in pain sometimes. I played volleyball last night, and my hip is sore and my back is sore. So that's what it's like being 30. Oh, yeah, what's new with you?
Nothing much. I've just been, just hanging out, chilling, that type of thing.
Did you watch the national championship game last night?
Yeah, I did. It was so stupid.
Yeah, I was fully expecting Bama to win that game. I had some money on them. Not a lot because I don't like
No,
to
yeah,
lose
gambling is
actual
stupid.
money. Well, like I just throw down like a buck or two on different games
Mm,
and stuff. Like I'm not like putting like a hundred or something. So just for fun, I guess.
yeah.
I don't even really care all that much, but it's something to do. Um, so there's that. There was one other thing I was thinking of that I wanted to talk about that was non-esports related, but I can't think of what it was right now. I don't have anything open that would tell me what it was. Have you been playing solo low queue?
A little bit.
I think I
It's just
saw
as
you on a few
it's just
times.
as dumb as I remember.
Damn right it is. Yeah, now it's just more dumb champions like Yone and
Yeah,
uh I can't think. Yone, Pike. I hate Pike.
like
Kane.
is dumb.
Hate Kane. Yeah, Samira is dumb and
I always ban Samira. I don't want to deal with her.
yeah, I ban Yone because he actually gets played, but I hate playing Pike more. So not much has changed. New year, same League of Legends. So did you get a chance to watch that Alexis profile?
No, I didn't.
Oh, it's
Was
so
was it
good.
good?
Yeah, her dad is so wholesome. I think she was also at the Boston Major win too.
Oh, that's awesome.
Her dad has a pretty thick Boston accent too, so I think that they were there, but I would y- you recommend that. I'm glad they did something you like that for the white team. It's pretty cool.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Yeah, I'll definitely have to check it out.
Yep. Um, but any other holiday stuff?
Not really.
COVID, New Year's?
I can't think of anything.
Yeah. I had a COVID scare, but I didn't catch it. Um,
A
yeah, my girlfriend did, which was not ideal because I was quarantined with her and still didn't catch it.
mm,
So fortunately, but yeah, I guess that's all I can think of. So I guess we can get into why we're actually here.
yeah, we're here to talk about some Cloud9 news, and it's one's kind of a sad note because during the holiday, it was announced that the British Hurricanes was disbanding, and that made me sad.
It was like our 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 last staple of Overwatch success.
Yeah, it was. The British Hurricanes were. Oh man, they were such a neat team. I think that what really made them special was like they were giving players from Europe a real opportunity to get better and then to eventually go into the Overwatch League. Like if you look at we have a bunch of players from that team that have gone on to play for Overwatch League teams. You know, I think that what they did, I think for trying to develop more players, they really stuck to that goal and they achieved that goal. And they had like a one of the most dominant seasons I've seen. Also, they had like this. I think it was maybe like 20 something like a 20 something like match win streak, something like that. It was insane. They were a good team. I really like watching them play, and I'm really sad that they're kind of hanging up their wings, as it were. You know,
Yeah. I feel like it was maybe a year too early because we started finally to see some people move up to the Spitfire roster. Um,
yeah,
uh, you'd like to think that they were probably gonna try and switch to a cheaper European or roster, and it would have been a good chance to get some younger guys in there to play. But I guess I
yeah.
can't say I'm too surprised. I'm still surprised that we still have an Overwatch League team. So seeing us drop one team is not a massive surprise to
Look,
me.
the league is hanging on by a thread, Frozen. Eventually, it's going to fail. We just have to wait long enough.
Yeah, I have to imagine that it is possibly on its last legs.
We
Overwatch
just
2,
once Overwatch 2 comes out, it'll really kick up again for sure. Just wait.
yeah, I'm sure. I still haven't I got a quote unquote new computer, so I haven't even downloaded loaded it the Blizzard client yet. So haven't opened Overwatch in probably 6 months,
Yeah,
and I'm not
I haven't played it in
in
years.
one. Yeah, I my girlfriend still plays it like a couple times a week, so I'm not sure what she's doing, but
You
apparently it's
vicariously
played.
experience it through her.
Yeah, I'll just play a bunch of ARAMs and that's about it.
That's that's awesome. Well, on happier news, I have to give a big shout out to our Halo team because Frozen, they're crushing it.
Yeah, did we record an episode after they won their championship?
No, we didn't. I think that was like during the holidays. I
All
think.
right.
But they won like this big championship. It was a huge deal. Um, and then I think just recently they won like a smaller event. I think it was maybe one of those seasonal tournaments that they do to like build up to a major event. But they basically won a major and then they won this other smaller thing. And they're on fire. I mean, I think that I think it's awesome. I think Halo coming back in a big way and being an esport again and having people really get into it and us having a team I think is really big and I think it's really important because Halo is one of those big gaming staples that you kind of you're just you need to be there, it has to be there. So I think that it being back and it being prevalent again is I think really good. And us crushing it also really helps me get more excited.
Yeah, that's 10 times better. They're actively playing still, aren't they?
The Halo team?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Like
Um,
they played in a thing like I think like 2 weeks ago.
yeah,
And
I
that
was
was the thing that they won.
yeah, okay. So, all right, I promise I will watch a match soon.
All right.
Next time they're on, maybe, depending on when and where it is.
Yeah, you really have to keep an eye out for the Twitter for the Cloud9 Twitter to like announce that they're
Yeah.
playing because otherwise you'll just miss it and then you'll just be like, wait, when did
Yeah,
Halo play?
I think I shut off some stuff. So I need to return on my Cloud9
Yeah, you gotta turn on
notifications.
those notos, dog.
I'll do that as you speak. But
Um,
yeah, do you have much else to add about Halo?
no, not for Halo. I was going to add just a quick thing. I'm looking at a website for Valorant stuff, and if anyone wants to see some Cloud9 Blue action, after the last thing they played in was the oh, what was it called? The Champions? Yeah, Champions. They were in Champions, but that was a while ago. Cloud9 Blue is going to be playing in the Knights Arena Valor Rampage. I love that name. Main event. It's the 20th through the 23rd of January. So if you want to get some Valorant action on, tune into the Valor Rampage event.
It's kind of like a WWE, WWF like kind of name,
Yes. I need more events need to do that.
like
More
a cage
events need to
match.
just have uh you know, more events need to just have like ridiculous names. It sounds like they're going to like people are just gonna run out and start hitting each other with chairs.
I mean, who says no?
Exactly. It gets
Um,
more people watching if it's,
exactly.
call it
I
things like call it something like, have events like the Summer Slam, which I don't think you can maybe do because it's technically copywritten. But
yeah, it probably is.
yeah, but just do stuff like that. Just it would make me want to watch it so much more if you build it more like a professional wrestling match.
I think it would be awesome too if they added in chairs as like a melee attack.
Like
You're
the knife is like a tiny folding chair that they can like get out to hit,
yeah,
and you just hear this like pating, pating, pating.
SmackDown tens.
That would be hilarious.
Mm,
I would
and
pay for a melee foldable chair. Make it happen, Riot.
who says no?
Give the people, and by people I mean me, what they want.
Exactly. I'm sure there's a bunch of rioters here listening to us, so
Yeah,
please put it
for
together.
sure. Um, but other than that, I think we can move on to our main event, which is talking about lock-in. So a bunch of stuff's happened between the holidays and now. Some of the team went to Korea. Fudge and Isles couldn't go due to visa issues because the Australian government's like really, really finicky with the plague about visa stuff. So um, they weren't able to go to Korea. So only like some of the team was able to go. So they didn't really do scrims or weren't able to do some stuff. Um, it was good seeing like Blabber, I think, streamed some. I know Summit and Berserker were on Ellis's stream as like guests. So that was pretty cool. Things kind of go on, and looking at lock-in, it looks like visa issues are continuing a little bit, and I think LS and the rest of the team won't make it until February. So we're gonna have a slightly different roster for lock-in than than we were hoping to see.
Yeah, and we're not the only team to face these visa issues.
Yeah, I think like a
TSM
bunch of other
is
teams are having the same problem.
yeah, TSM is starting their academy roster. Based on what I've seen, Core JJ is not going to be able to play.
Mhm.
Um, which is, or I do kind of find it weird that Winsome couldn't play because he's
He is
in
technically American, I believe. Like, I'm
unless
not sure
like
like what his visa status is,
yeah, but
but like he
he is a
is
citizen.
he is a citizen, so like you'd think he'd be able to just go.
Or I was reading that he's from Louisiana,
Yeah,
I
he's a
think.
Southern boy.
So I want to hear him speak English with a with like a Korean
A
Cajun accent.
Korean Creole fusion.
Yeah,
That would be cool. Um,
Brian Kelly tried to do.
I read that like since he moved there when he was really young, he lost a lot of his English just because he didn't use it.
Yeah, and I imagine that it is gonna take some time to
Yeah,
to ramp that back up. But
yeah. But I think that I think that I'm kind of whatever about it. I think that everyone, I think across the board, has written off lock-in as like, oh, it's just a thing to kind of have some content and get everyone kind of excited for the season. There's no real stakes to it. Nothing really matters about it. Especially with like a lot of players just not being there in general.
yeah, I can't imagine there's gonna be too many other visa issues. It seems like the EU players, I haven't heard anything wrong with them getting in. So I'm not sure if like Tasui, however you say it, or Blue, or any of those guys. I haven't seen anything. I guess they could still be having issues, but it
Yeah.
sounds like it's mostly Korean and Chinese players who are facing issues. But it sounds like we are going to be running Darshan, Blabber, Fudge, Sven, and Isles with head coach more or less as Max Waldo. So
Yeah,
I
it's kind of an
it
interesting
could have been worse.
situation from how LS described it, because
Yeah.
LS is scrimming with the Korean half of the team in Korea, and he's doing kind of his own thing, and then the NA half, Max is governing the NA half, and he's just doing stuff with them. So it's kind of weird, but I guess also kind of interesting. I'm hoping that we don't have any issues and it doesn't delay things, so we can just, have the team all be there by the time the season actually starts, and we can hit the ground running.
Yeah, and I think it is important to have Blabber and Fudge playing together
Yeah, I agree with that 100%.
in a new lane. I know that Blabber is very familiar with camping for Fudge, but um, trying to gank mid lane is a lot different than ganking top lane. So we'll kind of have to see how that plays out. I think this is a really good opportunity for Isles to, if he is trying to gun for that starting spot for the spring split, to put in a good showing.
Yeah, I think definitely. I think for a lot of these players that are going to be competing for time, you know, Winsome for, like between like Isles and Winsome, for example. I think also, what position does Malice play?
He's a
He's
jungler.
okay. He's jungler, yeah.
Yeah.
I think that with how they kind of sold things during the preseason stuff, it seemed like everyone's kind of going to be competing for a spot, and especially with some of these newer people, with Malice and Winsome and uh, the weird situation in bot lane where there's basically three players. um, it's going to be really interesting. And I think if you can take that extra little bit of time to play and show your stuff, then that's really important. I'm
Yeah.
really curious to see how Fudge does. I've heard he has been just grinding away in mid lane on a bunch of different champions to try and get ready.
Yeah. I am interested to see what he's gonna do, because it feels like out of the meta has evolved from Worlds where you could get away playing a bruiser. I'm still sure you could, but it seems most of the Chinese teams that are playing right now are playing mages plus Corki.
Yeah.
So
So
uh,
pretty standard stuff.
yeah, so the way they did the groups this year is the same way they did it last year. Top two teams from summer, uh, they do a draft. They pick who they want in the other group.
Mhm.
So we ended up getting placed in Group A with 100 Thieves, FlyQuest, Golden Guardians, and TSM. I think we have a decent shot to get an OK seed coming out of this. TSM is going to be playing an academy roster. I can't imagine they'll be good.
I know our first opponents are Golden Guardians, which I think that that'll I think that should also be kind of an easy match. Though I can't remember. There's been so many changes this season. I can't remember.
Yeah, so they have Licorice, Pride Stalker,
Oh,
and
Bright
Blaze,
Stalker.
Olive, Lost, and Ole. So
Oh yeah, Ole's coming back.
yeah, so they'll be an interesting lock-in team, I think.
Yeah, I think that'll be cool.
So I think that'll be fun. FlyQuest has Kumo, Jose Diodo, Yatsui, Takui.
I think
Oh
it's Tsui.
yeah, he's French, so I'm gonna go with Tasui. Johnson and Afromu, which I think is a fun roster too. So I think they're good ninjas for Locken, but I don't see them really doing much in the actual split per se. But I think it'll be good to play off against them once or twice in
Yeah,
group.
yeah. I think it'll be good practice just to kind of get everyone reacquainted with playing in more of a pro environment than just playing solo queue. So I think that'll be good. I think it'll be interesting just to see how, you know, this is kind of like Darshan returning to the pro stage a little bit. So it'll be fun to see him kind of kind of playing with the big boys again after being away for so long. Just doing stuff in academy.
Yeah. I don't have a lot of hope for him specifically, but I kind of just see him being stuck on tank duty or bruiser duty all weekend.
No, yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, my expectations for Locken are very low.
Yeah,
Not to say that as like in a bad way, just like it's Locken, like it doesn't matter.
yeah, it doesn't matter, but it's more fun if we do well. So
That's true. No, it's true. If we crush it, then it's like, oh, I feel much better than us
yeah,
doing
so
okay.
I would like to see some of that. But how do you want to talk about this? Do you want to talk about it in order and how our games in order and how we expect to finish the group? Are all the group games played this weekend? Yeah, it looks like they
I
are.
think so.
So
Yeah, we can do it that way. That
okay.
seems like the easiest way to do it.
So our first game is against Golden Guardians. And then we also play FlyQuest on Friday.
Um, I think Golden Guardians should be pretty easy. FlyQuest may be a bit tougher just because it does have some really good experience. I mean, when you have Licorice and Jose Dioto and Afromu on a team. I mean, that's a lot. That's a pretty big wealth of experience. So I think that they can do some stuff that's pretty good. At least I think from a strategic standpoint, especially with our team kind of being a weird hodgepodge and also having a role swap. Um, hopefully the team is at least practiced enough to where individually they can kind of come together and do well. I have no doubt that Fudge and Blabber will be prepared because they always seem to be very kind of grindy oriented and they'll just play. Sven especially, I should mention him as well because Sven all he does is play solo queue. So I think Sven is
Yeah,
gonna be
that is true.
Sven is gonna be ready. Uh, so I think
Yeah.
individually we have some really good players who will practice and ready themselves up by themselves. So I think it's just a matter of getting at it and shaking some rust off and hopefully doing well.
Yeah, and I think this is a good first game for Fudge in mid lane. Blaze Olive isn't bad, but he's not a good mid laner. Like
Right. I mean, I haven't. He's mostly been in academy, so I haven't really been able to pay attention to him a lot. But
he
he's been around for a while.
yeah, he probably could have won a rookie of the year last year, but he ended up getting beat out. Um so he's I feel like he's kind of like a gateway or yeah, gateway mid laner. If you're better than him, then you're good. But if he beats you, then you probably need to start over,
Yeah.
kind of thing. So I I just don't know what to expect out of Fudge with the champion pool.
Yeah,
It's,
me neither.
yeah,
I think that that's
like
that's going to be the most exciting part, I think, because
yeah, like I'm seeing a lot of Victor, which
Victor's
he's
really
played
strong.
before. Yeah, Victor, Corky, Zoe, Syndra,
He's played like some
LeBlanc,
Yasuo too. Like he's been playing a lot of stuff.
Rise, Oriana, Akali. I'm
Have
just
those
looking
have
at
those
some,
have all of those looked good or
or I'm looking at the LPL matches. Just for who's
oh,
being,
you're just looking at LPL. Okay.
yeah. So,
I thought you were talking
LeBlanc,
about stuff Fudge has played,
Galio.
and I'm like, oh, okay, well, if Fudge can play Victor, that's pretty good.
I'm sure Renekton can be flexed mid too. So,
That's
um,
true.
Yeah,
So
so
it will maybe
X2.
give LS an aneurysm a little bit.
Yeah, but I don't think it's a bad plan for lock-in. While Fudge is getting used to mid lane, like
No, yeah, for
throw
sure.
Darshan on Renekton or onto a Scion or uh I hate to say Jace, but maybe Jace.
Yeah.
And then you can put Yisven on a carry. It's a lot of Zinzao, Lee Sin in jungle, so stuff that Blabber can play. The supports really haven't changed, so I would expect Isles to be able to play them. So I feel like not a ton has changed meta-wise besides mid lane, which isn't even insanely different than what we saw at Worlds. Actually today EDG pulled out Annie and got a couple Annie bans top lane. So I think it'd be funny to see someone pull out Annie.
Yeah.
There's actually a top lane. I think he's EU. I'm not sure about that though. He's Grandmaster top lane Yumi main.
What?
Yeah.
How does that work?
So you effectively just farm into 6 and then you attach to your jungler,
Oh,
basically.
okay.
And then he takes jungle farm and top lane farm.
Oh wow. I honestly, okay, I can see how that would work now. You basically, it's like a pseudo funnel. Okay.
Yeah. Uh-huh. So you get 6 by spell thieves and then you have 2 wards or 2 warders plus a Yumi. So I can't imagine that would work in pro.
It would be
I
so
think
wild if it could work though.
junglers are smart enough to just go dive all game.
Yeah.
Get get go like Xin Zhao or Renekton or Viego or something and just dive them all game. But it's only getting to level 6 is like the main issue. So I'm not sure if that is a viable thing, but I'm sure that is something someone is gonna talk about. But if I were a top laner, I would probably feel bad about playing Yumi. So I don't know. There's also like a Grandmaster mid laner in EU, I think it is, who plays Maokai mid. So I doubt we'd see that, but it is a top lane champ, so
No, yeah, like
yeah.
I could see that.
So I feel like that would be like a decent like a Samira comp kind of thing. A Renekton, Maokai, Xin Zhao or Lee Sin, plus a Samira, Leona, Nautilus, or a Rakan kind of thing. But I honestly imagine that Fudge is probably gonna play mages this week as a way to warm up for Spring Split.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying it would be fun.
Yeah, it would be pretty fun to just see some really wacky picks go out.
Our second game on Friday is against FlyQuest. I feel like this is another type of prove it game for Fudge. I think Tsui is going to be a better mid laner long term than a Blaze Olive is, but he's not proven yet. He played in Masters last year in EU, so I'm not sure why he didn't get um an EU spot. What is it?
I think it's LFL.
Or sorry, for the Pro League. We're LCS. They are
Oh, the LEC.
LEC. That's what it is. So I'm not sure. Maybe he got LEC offers and NA money won.
I mean, NA money
But
always wins Frozen.
yeah, it kind of does, except in actual gameplay. But that's
This
not
is true.
important.
This is true.
But that's not important. I feel like that's a good game for Fudge to bust up some chops. I think it would be good for Fudge to play Power of Evil at some point too.
That'll be a really
probably get
interesting
his ass
matchup.
beat.
I think that the issue is that Fudge is gonna struggle. Like, it's pretty much like when he first started playing top lane with us. Like, he's going to struggle a lot against like pretty much everybody, and he has to like get a bunch of experience and like really get practice up to level up to where he was when he was playing top lane. So
Yeah, that's true.
it's gonna. I imagine there's gonna be some struggles.
If
Hopefully he doesn't. Hopefully he doesn't have a bunch of really inty games like when we had with Perks. I don't. I don't want him to like pick Renekton mid and then go like 0-7.
if Fudge picks Renekton mid and goes 0-7, I will be tilted because that is a champion he should be able to play. If he picks like in Oriana and gets camped, shit happens. But if he can't play a bruiser mid, then I will be concerned.
Yeah, that would definitely not be a good look.
Yeah, but I have to imagine he's gonna be playing LeBlanc, Vex, Oriana, Victor kind of thing. Corky maybe. So I don't know. Our last two games are gonna be Golden Guardians and TSM then. It looks like there is a couple games next weekend, and we will be playing 100 Thieves next weekend.
100 Thieves is going to be probably the hardest game, considering that
Yeah.
their roster will actually just have synergy since it did not change.
Oh
So
yeah.
that'll be a rough one to get through.
I,
Because they'll have everyone.
it's both of our last game. If they've clinched first, I wouldn't be surprised to see Tenacity play. So maybe that's a reprieve, but maybe not. So that's one thing. That's our game next week. But honestly, my expectations for this group, I think if we can get second, I'd be happy. If we got third, I'd be content. If we didn't make it out of groups, I would be scared for spring split and summer split. But I feel like this roster is strong enough on its own that we should be able to at least come out of groups in third or fourth.
Yeah, I can at
At
least see
worst.
it.
At worst.
Yeah, I think at worst, I think we should at least be able to get out of groups. Hopefully. I'm not too worried about it. I think that I'll be more worried about it once we get to once we have the whole team and we're actively playing in the season, then I can start to worry.
Yeah, and Fudge hasn't played a game with Summit, Berserker, or Winsome yet. Like maybe they have talked in Discord and such and done cyber practices of some sort, but they haven't actually like played scrims or anything together yet. So I think that'll be interesting. I think people are kind of writing Cloud9 off for lock-in, but I think that there's enough here that we should be able to do okay. Sven's played with Isles before. He's played with Darshan. He's played with Fudge. He's played with Blabber. And he's a consistent ADC who we can rely on. Darshan, I think Darshan is probably the biggest question mark too. How is he going to stack up against Someday? How's he going to stack up EU against Kumo? If that's not a matchup he can win, then I think that we're going to be in tough shape.
Yeah, I think that's gonna be. I think that's a really good point.
I also wonder because last lock-in, a lot of teams focused on trying to put Fudge behind, and I wonder if that's going to be their game plan again this time.
Yeah, I can definitely see it because
A
it's
lot of
basically it's
yeah.
basically the same situation. He's in a new role.
Yeah, so I am interested to see how that's gonna go. But what are your expectations for this weekend? We play 3 games this weekend, 2 on Friday against GG, FlyQuest, Sunday versus TSM, and then next Friday versus 100 Thieves. So, what are your predictions for this weekend?
I think we should at least win half our games. If not,
2 and 1?
yeah, I think at least 2-1. Uh, I think that's fair considering the rosters for the teams and everything. I'm really just hoping to see some good play and we don't look too terrible.
Yeah, I think that with the visa issues, Group A is incredibly weak. But on the other hand, Group B looks pretty strong. I think Evil Geniuses and 100 Thieves might be the favorites for the lock-in. Team Liquid 2, obviously, but apparently Bjergsen was struggling in Korean solo queue, so I don't know enough about it to say much more than that. But I think he was hovering around 400 LP. Darshan was at like 200. So obviously there's a big gulf in class between those two, but it's still something to talk about. What are your expectations for Group B then?
Um, who is in Group B?
CLG, Dig, Evil Geniuses, Immortals, and Team Liquid.
I think it'll probably be just Team Liquid and uh, Evil Geniuses. I think that's just that's just gonna be the group.
I think Immortals will show up too. They got Revenge, Xerxes, Power of Evil, Wild Turtle, and Destiny. So it is an interesting roster. I wouldn't mind playing them in our first playoff match too. I think that Immortals will probably come out third of that group, but I think it's going to be EG, Team Liquid, Immortals, and then I'll put some faith in my boy Contracts, so I'll put them fourth, and then Dig does not make it past group stages.
Yeah, I think that I could maybe see that.
But they do have XU. Is
Oh, that's
that our
true.
XU?
Uh, is it?
Yeah,
Huh.
that is our XU.
Huh.
So apparently
They
he's gonna
took our
be,
X to you.
yeah, apparently he's gonna be playing. I missed that announcement. He's on Dick Academy, I guess, but he apparently will be playing Improving Ground according to what I'm looking at. That's kind of hype, actually. I really liked him. He was probably the standout from that team. He probably has the best chance of going pro in that amateur roster.
Yeah. I didn't notice that he had gotten moved either. It'll be really interesting to see how he does because I didn't know he was gonna be playing.
Yeah, I guess I would take this website with a grain of salt because it doesn't have never mind. I have to imagine that he's going to be playing at least a little bit in lock-in. That's kind of sad. I was hoping that he'd get moved up to Cloud9 Academy, but
Yeah, same. He was really good in the amateur team.
yeah. So I don't know, or I guess I get why they went for Malice over him, but I don't know. I was hoping he'd get a chance to show up for us, but it is a good opportunity for him to show up playing some good junglers. So I'm gonna be watching out for him. I can't watch a ton this weekend. Uh, I'm going to a basketball game on Friday, and I'm doing a little birthday thing on Saturday. But Sunday I will be locked in for Cloud9. I would really like to see us get off to a 2-0 start here. Will we?
Yeah,
I
same.
don't know. but I think that we have a chance to show up here. I think our team is stronger than what people are expecting of us, and I'm kind of interested to see what they're gonna say on the dive too, because I feel like that this is actually a stronger roster than you'd expect from an a Visa Issues team.
Sorry, Andy on. Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
I think that it brings about kind of an interesting dynamic because you have like old players and academy players kind of playing on the same team. But it should be interesting. I'm really looking forward to the games. So I just needed to get here, and waiting is the hardest part.
Yeah. All right. So Dig announced yesterday, meaning Monday, that they couldn't get a river in for lock-in at least the first week. So XU is going to be playing this week. So good for him.
Hooray!
So I'll be cheering him on. I'll be cheering on contracts to take a couple games off the bigger teams. We will be back next week, and we can talk about the 100 Thieves game more in depth and our performance this week. And what we hope to see in playoffs. I think the biggest thing is that we want more games. So if Fudge can play more games on these champions, then I would like to see it.
Yeah, 100%. I think the more practice Fudge gets, the better.
All right, so I want your official predictions for this weekend. GG, win or lose.
I think we win.
All
Easy
right,
peasy.
the FlyQuest.
I think we should be able to win, but I'll say like 70-30.
So that's a 2-0 from you.
Yeah,
Since I never predict a loss,
never.
I'm gonna say 2-0. I think it's more likely we go 1-1, but obviously I think this team is strong enough and experienced enough to beat away two teams that are going to be fighting for like 6th place. So I'm more excited for Spring Split, which will be, if I can find it very fast, I will do it. Spring. All right, I don't have specific days right now, but we can talk about that next week too. Is there anything else that you would like to add?
No, I can't think of anything.
Yeah, so yeah, that's about it. Not much has changed since Worlds meta, so I have to imagine they'll be pretty familiar with it. Not a ton of changes in League of Legends in general, outside of Hex Drake or Hextech Drake, and then the other one, I can't think of what it's
Oh, the
called.
Chem Drake.
Yes, Chem Drake. So those were pretty much the major changes. So the game should be pretty similar.
They did change teleport also,
Yeah, that's true. I
which
think teams are
is
still taking it though. It hasn't
no, like
stopped
it, like
teams
it's
from
it's a
taking it.
good tool. It's just gonna change how like the early game is, to where you're not gonna be able to set up for those teleporting plays until much later.
Yeah, but who's complaining? Literally, uh, no one except maybe top laners, and
Yeah,
that's it.
really, it's just top lane that complains.
Um, so I don't expect a ton of different changes. Graves, Olaf, Talon, and Jungle are some things that have been picked. But as of recording, we are 3 days away from almost to the minute. 3 days away from lock-in. By the time you guys get this, we'll be 2. So listen or watch some LPL. I'm sure there's some more fun matches this week. It's always a clown fiesta at this point of the year, so more fun. But yeah, I think that's it.
Also, don't forget to follow us on Twitter at C9Bodied. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you again next time.
All right, bye guys.